Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. This is a quick clip. My thumbnail might have been a little misleading, but if you read it more closely, it said that I'm a new owner of a Commodore DTV, which is this thing. But yeah, I was having a little bit of fun with the thumbnail because of obviously the news over the summer has been that Christian Simpson, known as Perry Fractix from Retro Recipe, and a group of folks bought Commodore, and now they own the rights to it. And there's been sort of people on both sides of the aisle, some very excited and some apprehensive. And, you know, I'm a Sinclair guy, so I don't really have as strong a feeling for that. But, you know, they ended up coming out recently with a Commodore 64 Ultimate, which is a combination of a keyboard project, an FPGA board, and a case, and it looks pretty nice, and it's actually a really good deal for a whole Commodore put together for $299. And so I think people should focus on that. I like the way the Spectrum Next did it better in that they focused on the product and created a Kickstarter with some fun stretch goals. But hey, you know, if they end up getting those machines out to the public and people who are Commodore fans get to use them, I think that's a positive contribution. I think people should worry less about what else they're going to do, the legal implications, whatnot. You know, until they do harm, give them the support. Like I said, I'm not a big Commodore person, but it did cause me to, you know, I was reading about the folks that were involved in this, and Jerry Ellsworth was one of them, and I read about the DTV, and then I was kind of excited because this is an FPGA-based joystick. Now, it's actually not an FPGA-based, it's an ASCIS, I'll put it in the comment, which is basically a non-reprogrammable version of that for mass production. And so they sold this, was it 2004? And so that was sort of the first Commodore product after Commodore went out. But yeah, so I wanted to focus on that a little bit, but also sort of address the whole Commodore's bought. I know, personally, I'm glad that no one bought Sinclair. I think that would be a complex thing to do with all the different. There's people that are C5 fans. There's people that are watch and calculator fans. It would just be kind of too diverse. And like I said, the nice thing about the Next, which I didn't get into the third Kickstarter, is that they had Rick Dickerson design the current case for the Next. And I think that makes it special. In any case, I just wanted to briefly talk about this. So people have actually upgraded these things and turned them into real Commodore 64s. And so my question to folks is, when I turn this on, is should I do that? There's been different models. This is actually an earlier one, so it has limited memory. But I've seen one where they have a ribbon cable out to a disk drive, which I don't like. But I've seen another one where they actually have an SD card with it. But yeah, so this is cool. Let me turn this on. And you can see that Commodore logo. I think there's also some controversy on the new Commodore, if they have the right logo or not, or if they own it. But what's cool about this is it'll actually boot up into Commodore 64. Again, I don't own any Commodore. I mean, I know the Amiga is part of Commodore, but is it? Because they were separate, they were bought, and then they are separate again. So I don't really associate Commodore Amiga with Commodore, even though it is. I don't mean to offend folks that think that. But yeah, so this has a bunch of these. I don't know most of these games. I'm more of a Sega person when it comes to gaming. But yeah, so my question to my viewers is, should I mod this to turn it into Commodore so I can actually program in BASIC in it? So that's really all I wanted to do in this quick clip video. And besides having a little bit of fun with folks and just, you know, sort of chiming in with my view on the new Commodore, you know, let's give them the support and let's give them the benefit of the doubt until those people that are apprehensive until they do otherwise. Because, you know, I think Perry Fractix has been pretty interesting in terms of his YouTube videos. And so that's really all I have today. I think I'll just play Impossible Mission. And I'll end here. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.